Hello. The Perfect Crime. The Perfect Crime by Ian Bond. Since I was a child and saw my first mystery or crime drama on TV, I have thought that I would never get caught if I committed a crime, if I planned it properly. On TV, the criminals always make stupid mistakes, leave obvious clues, and never have alibis for the time the crime happened. I am sure that if I wanted to kill someone, or steal something, or do something against the law, that I could do it without being detected. I could commit the perfect crime. So, let's plan a crime. Shall we kill someone? Oh, that may be too strong for an English class. So we need to think of something less sinister. But I really want to involve people. So I don't want a boring crime about stealing a sheep or painting graffiti on someone's wall. In my mind, I have always thought that my perfect crime would involve revenge. Something I could plan for a long time and choose the perfect moment, therefore avoiding detection. I realised years ago that the secret is patience. You cannot retaliate 5 minutes after someone does something bad to you, because, quite simply, you will be top of the list of the suspects. You need to store your rage and never speak of it again. No one can ever know how mad you are inside. The police need witnesses and testimonies from friends and family of the victim to find the culprit, so it's important that your name never comes up in these interviews. I can be happy with the knowledge that one day I will get my revenge. I know that when I decide to do something, I generally do it, and patience is one of my best qualities. I'm also good at keeping secrets, so I won't have a problem storing my thoughts away in my brain and never mentioning them again. I'm an independent person, and I've never needed to confide in anyone. As a matter of fact, it's probably why I'm an insomniac. I spend too much talking to myself. So, revenge is now my motive. I just need a victim. Now I remember. Yes, Paul Jones stole my girlfriend from me when I was 16 years old. I was in love with Sally Brooker, and I wanted to marry her and have children with her and live happily ever after with her. What happened? Well, Paul Jones arrived in our lives one day in his fast car with his fancy clothes and his money, and he stole her from me. I hated him then, and I still hate him now. I cannot kill Paul Jones for something he did 20 years ago, but I can certainly make myself feel better with some revenge. And after 20 years, he will never suspect that I am involved. So, starting right now, I must make sure I don't leave any clues. I cannot search for the name Paul Jones from my computer or from my phone. I cannot say his name to anyone. I need to be smarter than all the police departments in England if I'm going to be successful. So, I need to find Paul Jones. That shouldn't be too difficult. He was only 17 when he ruined my life, but he's going to be easy to find because his family was rich and well known in those days. And in the age of the internet, finding him will be a piece of cake. Well, what I need to do first is to locate him. so that I know if all of this is possible. If he is currently living in Australia, then I will need to find another victim for this experiment. I don't hate Paul Jones so much that I would spend all my money travelling around the world just to ruin his life. I'm not rich, so I need to be careful how I spend my money on this little project. I'm not rich like Paul Jones's family was. That's why I lost Sally. He had all the money and the clothes and the fast car. I hate Paul Jones. I think the first thing I need is a new identity. I need to invent a name and find some pictures of someone who looks nothing like me. Then I need new email accounts, Facebook, Twitter, and all the normal electronic information a normal person has. But I cannot write any of this information down. Everything must stay in my head. The evidence must be kept to zero. So I need a new name, one I can remember, and passwords I will never forget. I'm a genius. My new identity couldn't be more different to my real one. I am going to become Colombian. Oh, I am so tempted to use the name of some Colombian that has really pissed me off in these last 13 years. I would love to frame someone for this crime I'm about to commit. But that is where stupid criminals make stupid mistakes. If I framed someone who has upset me recently, then I would make a connection with that person. I have to be smart. But no, I need to concentrate on one enemy at a time. If I am successful, I can get my revenge on those people another day in the future. Patience, Ian. Patience. So, let's invent a name. Roberto Luis Matador. Roberto Luis Matador. I like the name, this surname, Matador, because I think it will inspire me. I need Gmail and Hotmail, so let's see what's available. I like the idea of Roberto L. Matador @hotmail.com, and the password will be Venganza 2015. I will find some pictures on Facebook of someone Latino, younger than me, someone with few friends and a very basic life. I don't want them to make the mistake of choosing pictures of someone famous. But I'm not doing any of this here. I'm going to an internet cafe out of the centre of Armenia. In fact, I was thinking of going to Manasales next week, so that's what I'll do. Patience, Ian. Patience. Always remember that it will be the stupid mistake that'll trip you up and spoil everything. You've waited 20 years for this moment, so you aren't going to rush things now. Take it easy. Take your time. And don't click on, don't write, don't do anything without double checking first. In Manasales, I find an internet cafe. I don't attract attention. With my blonde hair, it is easy to remember me, so this time I go in quietly and without any fuss. I ask for a private cabin, which is free. They hardly look at me. Perfect. I sit down at the computer and open Google. I've had a week to think about this, and my plan is so clever. I smile and see my reflection in the screen. First, I open my new Hotmail account and I provide them with the phone number of my new SIM card. Then I start searching in Google. Gary Brown, Thomas Cook, Andy Brooks, Tom Hardy, Ian Bond, Simon Clark, Paul Jones, and I continue searching for every boy's name that I can remember from my time at school. I can remember about 25 of them, and I patiently click on the information on all of them, including my own name. I don't make any notes, except, of course, the information I get on Paul Jones, which I type directly into the new letter I have opened in my new Hotmail account. My theoretical story, if the police ask me, is that some crazy person from my past, from our past, has seen me in or around Armenia and has decided that they want to hurt me, or my classmates from 20 years ago. I do a search on everyone as if the crazy person hasn't decided who he wants to hurt yet. After researching everyone's names, including mine, he decides that Paul Jones is the target. I have to think of every possibility because I have no idea how and when I will need to defend myself. I discover that Paul is now the CEO of the family business, Sunny Days PLC, a manufacturer of salad dressings and sauces for barbecues. I hate him even more now because I've been buying these sauces all my life without knowing I was adding to Paul Jones' bank account. I almost vomit as I think of these products in my stomach. Paul Jones is going to pay double now. I do some more research and see that Jones has been married for 19 years to the same woman, Sally. This must be my ex-girlfriend, Sally Brooker. The coincidence is too big. God, I hate Paul Jones. And then I see they have 3 children. Rebecca, 13, Alison, 15, and Ian, 19. What? They called their son Ian? Is this a joke? Hang on, he's 19. Maybe I am the father. Maybe Sally still loves me. Maybe this was her message to me that she misses me and loves me still. I sit there with rage building on one side of my brain and renewed love for Sally on the other side. I didn't meet anyone like her again. I went from bad relationship to terrible relationship to disastrous relationship over the years that followed our separation. My only time of peace and tranquility came when I decided to live in Colombia and I was able to start a new life. But now, Paul Jones was back in my life and I wanted him to feel some of the pain that he has caused me over the years. I spent weeks and weeks planning my revenge. I was going to destroy Sunny Days PLC. I was going to destroy Paul Jones. I was going to win back Sally Brooker at the funeral. This was going to be so easy. Funeral? Hey, this is getting out of control now. When did we decide to kill Paul Jones? Well, it makes sense, doesn't it? Get rid of Paul Jones, get Sally again, and continue with all the money from Sunny Days PLC. This was sweet revenge now. I arrived in England 3 weeks before the final part of my plan. I had spent all of my money renting the house in the name of Roberto Matador. Somewhere I could go and make my final preparations and store the things I needed. I always wore gloves, never used the toilet, and never ate or drank there. I urinated in a bottle and took it with me every time. Nothing was going to incriminate me in this perfect crime. and I dreamt about hearing Paul Jones' last breath as I told him why he was dying and the misery he had caused me. The day before the day of Paul Jones' execution, I went home, telling my mother that I had spent the afternoon checking prices of building materials for the new studio I was going to build for her in the garden. We sat watching TV for a while, our usual quiz programs and comedy series, and eventually the news program came on. And after some boring political news, the presenter said, "Today in Manchester, a private plane crashed into a field, killing all 4 people." "Oh, how terrible," said my mother. The presenter continued, "The pilot, Paul Jones, the CEO of Sunny Days PLC, fought bravely to avoid crashing into a local school and therefore certainly saved many lives." My blood ran cold. Paul Jones was dead? The presenter interrupted my thoughts. The other passengers in the plane were Sally Jones, his wife, and their 2 children, Rebecca and Alison. Tributes have been posted ever since the tragedy, hailing Mr. Jones as a hero. My brain started to race, and I nearly passed out as I quickly tried to recover something of my plan. I felt robbed. Jones had died a hero, and Sally was dead. But what about my son Ian? Again, the presenter broke into my thoughts. The family is survived by their eldest son Ian, who was born with a rare brain disorder and has been in a coma for the last 10 years. Paul Jones spent at least 4 hours a day at his son's bedside, praying for him to wake up again. It is not known who will care for him now, although money will be no problem, because he will inherit all the family's fortune. The end. Not the perfect crime.